Good day everyone! We are the Group 8 of BSPSY-3201 and for today, we will be discussing all about protein metabolism. So before we discuss this topic, we will be knowing what the learning objectives are. So the first one will be discuss the digestions and absorption of proteins. Number 2, discuss the oxidation of amino acids. Number 3, explain the oxidative deamination. Number 4, describe transamination of amino acids. And number 5, describe the urea cycle. So let us first know what protein metabolism is. So protein metabolism entails the creation of proteins and amino acids known as anabolism, as well as the breakdown of proteins into amino acids, also known as catabolism. So why is protein metabolism important in a person's body? So proper functioning of protein catabolism is of utmost importance to sustain the metabolic needs of the human body. So the breakdown of large polypeptide chains to unleash free essential and non-essential amino acids provides cells with the needed substrates for protein synthesis or energy creation. So now we will be discussing about the process of protein digestion and absorption in the human body. So we have your figure wherein it summarizes the protein digestion in the human body. So as you can see, number 1 begins with mouth, but it is said that protein digestion begins in the stomach rather than the mouth because saliva contains no enzymes that affect proteins. So both protein denaturation and protein hydrolysis occur in the stomach. So the partially digested protein or large polypeptides passes from the stomach into the small intestine where digestion is completed. However, the dietary protein entering the stomach affects the release of the hormone gastrin by stomach mucosa cells. Gastrin's presence causes both hydrochloric and pepsinogen secretion. So you might be wondering what hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen secretion is. So hydrochloric acid is also known as muriatic acid, while pepsinogen creation is the one that breaks down proteins into smaller peptides and amino acids. So it is one of the main digestive enzymes in the digestive system of the humans. So hydrochloric acid has 3 major functions within the stomach. So number 1, we have its antiseptic properties, wherein it kills most bacteria. Number 2, its denaturing action unwinds globular proteins, making peptide bonds more accessible to digestive enzymes. And number 3, its acidity leads to the activation of pepsinogen, which is the inactive form of the digestive enzyme pepsin. So because of the hydrochloric acid present, gastric juice has a pH between 1.5 and 2.0 pepsin, effects that hydrolysis of approximately 10% of peptide bonds present in proteins, producing a variety of polypeptides. So the passage in the small batches of the stomach's acidic protein contents into the small intestine stimulates the production of the hormone secretin, which in turn stimulates pancreatic production of bicarbonate ion or HCO3, whose function is the neutralization of gastric hydrochloric acid. So with such neutralization, the partially digested protein mix becomes slightly basic with a pH value between 7.0 and 8.0. So this basic environment allows for the production of the pancreatic digestive enzymes trypsin, chymotrypsin, and carboxypeptidase, all of which attack peptide bonds. So the net result of protein digestion is the release of the protein's constituent amino acids. Absorption of these free amino acids through the intestinal wall requires active transport with the expenditure of energy. Different transport systems exist for the various kinds of amino acids. After passing through the intestinal wall, the free amino acids enters the bloodstream, which distributes them throughout the body. So that is all about our subtopic number 1 under protein metabolism, which is the protein digestion and absorption. So we will now be moving forward to discuss about amino acid utilization.
So yun po, ako po si Joash at ang itatakal ko po ay amino acid utilization. First slide, amino acids produced from the digestion of proteins enter the amino acid pool of the body. The amino acid pool is the total supply of free amino acids available for use in the human body. So sabi po dito sa first slide, ang amino acids daw po ay na-produce from the digestion of proteins. Kumbaga po breakdown po siya ng proteins bago po pumasok sa amino acid pool ng ating katawan. At yung tinatawag naman pong amino acid pool sa ating katawan ay yun po yung pinaka-total supply ng free amino acid na ready for consumption po sa ating mga katawan or yung available po for use in the human body. There are three sources that contributes amino acid to the amino acid pool. Ito po yung tatlo. First one is the dietary protein. Second, protein turnover. And the third one is the biosynthesis of amino acids in the liver. So, itong tatlong sources po na to ay mas madidiscuss pa po further sa mga susunod na slides. Next po, within the human body, proteins are continually being degraded or hydrolyzed to amino acid and resynthesized. Disease, injury, and wear and tear are all causes of degradation. The degradation resynthesis process is called protein turnover. Protein turnover is the repetitive process in which proteins are degraded and resynthesized within the human body. So, sabi nga po dito sa slides, yung mga protein po sa ating katawan ay continuous na nagbe-breakdown or yung hydrolysis po, nag-undergo po ng ganong process and which po nare-resynthesize din naman po after. And ang tawag po dun sa process po ng degradation or yung breakdown and then reproduction is called protein turnover po. Next po, biosynthesis of amino acids by the liver also supplies the amino acid pool with amino acid. However, only the non-essential amino acids can be produced in this manner. So, yung biosynthesis po na nangyayari po sa amino acid sa liver ay nagko-contribute din po sa amino acid pool na total supply. So, ang kaibahan lang po nito, only non-essential amino acids po yung napoproduce. Kasi alam naman po natin yung difference between essential amino acids and the non-essential amino acids, in which yung non-essential amino acids po ay yun lang yung napoproduce ng ating katawan. Tapos yung essential amino acids naman po ay yung mga nakuha lang natin through food intake. In a healthy adult, the amount of nitrogen taken into the body each day, or which is also known as dietary proteins, equals the amount of nitrogen excreted from the body. Such a person is said to be in a state of nitrogen balance. So, ano nga po ba yung nitrogen balance? Nitrogen balance is the state that results when the amount of nitrogen taken into the human body as protein equals the amount of nitrogen excreted from the body in waste materials. So, ang sinasabi po sa slide na to, nagkakaroon po ng nitrogen balance kapag equal yung amount ng nitrogen na intake sa nitrogen na excrete po sa ating katawan. So, meaning, ang nitrogen balance po, from the word itself, balance, equal lang po yung amount kung ano po yung na-intake, yun lang din po yung malalabas natin sa ating mga katawan through the waste materials po. There are two types of nitrogen imbalance naman po. First one is the negative nitrogen balance. When protein degradation exceeds protein synthesis, the amount of nitrogen in the urine exceeds the amount of nitrogen ingested or the dietary protein. This condition of negative nitrogen balance accompanies a state of tissue wasting because more tissue proteins are being catabolized than are being replaced by protein synthesis. So, sa negative nitrogen balance po, ang nangyayari po is mas marami yung na-breakdown na tissue rather than sa nare-replace po through protein synthesis. So, nagkakaroon po ng negative nitrogen balance kapag yung amount po ng nitrogen sa ating mga ihi or urine ay mas mataas sa amount na kumpara dun sa nitrogen na ating na-intake, which is the dietary fiber. At nangyayari to kalimitan kapag yung meron tayong poor protein diet or yung ating kinakain is low on protein or no protein at all. Also kapag nagpapagutom or starvation din. Next naman po na type ng nitrogen imbalance is the positive nitrogen balance. Dito naman po, sabi sa ating PowerPoint, nitrogen intake exceeds nitrogen output. It indicates that the rate of protein anabolism or the synthesis exceeds that of protein catabolism, and this indicates that large amounts of tissue are being synthesized. Dito naman po nangyayari yung mas mataas po yung napoproduce or nai-intake natin na nitrogen kumpara dun sa nai-excrete natin. At kalimitan po nangyayari itong positive nitrogen balance kapag nag-undergo po tayo ng growth, kung saan mas kailangan po natin ng proteins for tissues na din po na produce as we grow. Tapos also another example po dito is yung pregnancy, which is mayroon pong bata sa loob ng tiyan na nangangailangan din po ng protein, kaya po more po ang ating na produce or nasisynthesize rather than the nakakatabolize po nating protein. Next naman po, the amino acids from the body's amino acid pool are used in 4 different ways. So meron po tayong 4 na ways po kung paano ginagamit yung amino acid from the amino acid pool. First one na po dyan is the protein synthesis. It is estimated that about 75% of the free amino acids in a healthy, well-nourished adult go into protein synthesis. Proteins are continually needed to replace the old tissue, also known as protein turnover na process, and also to build new tissue for growth. So sa protein synthesis po, ito yung unang paraan or unang way para magamit yung mga amino acids sa amino acid pool. Simply po because ang kailangan po ng ating mga tissues na mapalitan, lalo na po yung old tissues, kaya po meron tayong protein turnover para na rin po makapag-build tayo ng new tissues for growth. Next naman po is the synthesis of non-protein nitrogen-containing compounds. Amino acids are regularly withdrawn from the amino acid pool for the synthesis of non-protein nitrogen-containing compounds. So ano nga po ba yung mga non-protein containing compounds? So non-protein nitrogen compounds are substances that contain nitrogen but are not proteins. They include compounds tulad ng urea, ammonia, nitrate acid, and amino acids. So these compounds can serve as nitrogen sources for organisms, and it is important in various biological process. So dito naman po sa synthesis ng non-protein containing compounds ay nakakatulong po siyang makagamit ng amino acids from the amino acid pool para din po makaproduce ng compounds such as urea po na found po sa ating mga ihi. Synthesis of non-essential amino acids. When required, the body draws on the amino acid pool for raw materials for the production of non-essential amino acids that are in short supply. And the roadblock preventing the synthesis of the essential amino acid is not lack of nitrogen but lack of a correct carbon skeleton upon which enzymes can work. So sa synthesis of non-essential amino acids po, dito nangyayari po yung pag-produce po ng non-essential amino acids, at ito rin po yung isang way kung paano magagamit yung amino acid sa ating amino acid pool. At kasi kapag po kasi nag-short po yung supply po ng non-essential amino acid, nagkakaroon na din po ng production of non-essential amino acids through the amino acids from our amino acid pool po. Next naman po is the production of energy. Because excess amino acids cannot be stored for later use, the body's response is to degrade them. The degradation process is a complex because each of the 20 standard amino acid has a different degradation pathway. In all the degradation pathways, the aiming nitrogen atom is removed and ultimately is excreted from the body as urea. So sa production po ng energy, nagagamit din po yung amino acid sa ating amino acid pool because yung response po ng ating katawan kapag labis na po yung supply ng amino acid is i-degrade them or i-catabolize them, breakdown po. So, ang mahihirapan lang po doon sa process po is dahil complex po siya. Kasi yung 20 standard amino acid po ay may iba't ibang degradation pathway po. And po yun yung 4 ways of amino acid consumption or use po sa ating amino acid pool. So, dito po sa next slide, ipe-present dito po yung table na naglalaman ng mga essential and non-essential amino acids. So, take your time po to look and analyze the table below. So, that would be all po for the amino acid utilization.
Sunod naman nating topic ay oxidative deamination, which is the second step pagdating sa degrading ng amino acids. So, sabi kay transamination, karamihan ng amino acids ay tumatanggap lamang ng alpha-ketoglutarate bilang co-reactant nito. So, tandaan natin na si alpha-ketoglutarate ay nagpo-produce ng glutamate bilang product. So, bilang product, si glutamate yung may dala ng nitrogen group na dati ay naka-alpha amino acids. So, kung maraming amino acids ang gumagamit ng alpha-ketoglutarate, marami ding glutamate ang napoproduce. So, anong nangyari dito sa excess na glutamate? May dalawa siyang process na pwedeng pagdaanan. Una ay ang second transamination o yung pagre-transfer nitong amino group na nakikiglutamate pabalik kay oxaloacetate para makapag-reproduce ulit ng aspartate. Pero hindi naman lahat ng glutamate ay dumadaan sa second transamination. Karamihan dito ay dumadaan kay oxidative deamination. So, ano nga ba sa oxidative deamination? Ang goal ng oxidative deamination ay makapag-release ng ammonium ion na nakiglutamate na which is toxic. Ammonium ion is toxic sa ating body at ang goal ng oxidative deamination ay i-release ito mula kay alpha amino acid habang nagpo-produce ng isang alpha keto acid. So, pagdating sa oxidative deamination, nangangailangan siya ng enzyme na tinatawag na glutamate dehydrogenase. Itong enzyme na to is unique in terms of siya lang ang enzyme na nakakagamit ng NAD or NADP as coenzyme. So, here ang example natin ay ang glutamate. Glutamate is yung excess na product mula kay transamination. Si glutamate ay magre-react kay enzyme glutamate dehydrogenase with coenzyme NAD. Dahil nga tinawag na dehydrogenase, ibig sabihin i-dehydrate natin or lalagyan natin, dadagdagan natin ng water molecule si glutamate. So, glutamate plus water plus NAD. Si NAD ay magre-release ng NADPH plus H positive H from water habang napoproduce din ng product ng keto acid at ammonium ion. So, glutamate plus water plus NAD equal to ammonium ion, which is yun yung product na goal ni oxidative deamination na maalis. And second is the keto acid or yung skeleton, yung natira dun sa process. And third is the NADPH plus H positive na nirelease ni NAD. So, para mas maintindihan natin yung process, si alpha keto acid ay magpuproduce ng alpha keto acid, habang namang si glutamate ay magpuproduce ng ketoglutarate or alpha ketoglutarate, at si NAD plus water ay magpuproduce ng magre-release ng ammonium ion plus NADH. Samantalang ang amino acids na serine and threonine ay may ibang process sa pag-release ng ammonium ion na tinatawag na hydration process. Instead na oxidative deamination na gumagamit ng enzyme and coenzyme na glutamate dehydrogenase and NAD or NADP, ang dehydrogenation and dehydrogenation ay isang process kung saan, for example, ay serine na aalisan nila ng water molecule para makapag-produce ng isang product Then, dadagdagan nila ng water para naman ma-release ang ammonium ion mula sa serine or threonine.
Let's now move on with the transamination and oxidative deamination. So the first step of degradation of amino acid is the removal of the alpha amino group, which includes the transamination reactions as well as the oxidative deamination reactions. So first one is the transamination. Transamination always involves two amino acids and two keto acids as a reactant and one as a product of each. So transamination reaction is a biochemical reaction that involves the interchange of amino group of an alpha amino acid with the keto group of an alpha keto acid. So since the transfer of amino group from an amino acid to a keto acid, vice versa, this results for a formation of new amino acid as well as new keto acid.
To make it easier to understand, we have here a figure in which it includes keto acid A, amino acid B, and keto acid B. So let us now focus to keto acid A and the amino acid A. Also, we have here the keto acid A that will act as a reactant, and it will be interchanging and to the amino acid A, and will have a new amino acid as a product. And to its below, we have here the amino acid B and keto acid B. So vice versa, amino acid B will be acting as the reactant, and it will interchange and will have a product of a new keto acid.
The noted enzyme for a transamination reaction is an aminotransferase. So it is an action effects that transfer of the amino group from one carboskeleton to another. So there is no loss or gain of amino groups in transamination. Transamination reactions are catalyzed by aminotransferase, which require pyridoxal phosphate as a coenzyme. So although a transamination reaction appears to involve the simple transfer of amino acid group between two molecules, the reaction involves several steps and requires the presence of pyridoxal phosphate, a coenzyme produced by pyridoxine or vitamin B.
Next topic is the urea cycle. The urea cycle is a biochemical pathway. It is a way of our body to release toxic substance, specifically the ammonium ion, from the oxidative deamination habang ginagamit si aspartate mula naman kay second transamination na diniscuss ko kanina. So, si urea cycle is nangyayari o napoproduce sa ating liver, pa-transport sa ating blood, then kidney, then release in our body in the form of urine. So, here, gumagamit tayo ng amino acids, tatlong amino acids, specifically the arginine, the ornithine, and the citrulline. Sa tatlong to, si arginine lang ang na-discuss sa non-essential and essential amino acids, and si arginine daw ang most nitrogen-rich substance dahil nga si arginine ang pinakamaraming nitrogen atom sa kanyang structure. So, saan nga ba unang nangyayari ang step ng urea cycle? Ito ay nangyayari sa ating mitochondria matrix. Dahil nga si ammonium ion is a toxic substance o toxic chemical na pag nalabas sa mitochondria, ay papatayin niya ang ating cell. So, para maiwasan na mamatay ang ating cell, kailangan niyang i-keep sa ating mitochondria. Kaya naman, doon nangyayari yung first step ng ating urea cycle, which is the production of the carbamoyl phosphate. The carbamoyl phosphate, siya yung pinaka-fuel dahil nga hindi pwedeng ilabas si ammonium ion hanggat hindi napuproduce si carbamoyl phosphate dahil nga toxic yon. Si carbamoyl phosphate ay binubuo ng ammonium ion, ng carbon dioxide, ng water, and ng dalawang ATP. Ngayon na na-produce natin si carbamoyl phosphate, pwede na natin simulan yung first step ng urea cycle or yung pagka-transfer naman ng carbamoyl phosphate. Ibig sabihin, papasok tong si ornithine na mapoproduce natin sa 5th step ng urea cycle. Papasok siya kay mitochondria matrix at dun ika-transfer yung carbamoyl group ni carbamoyl phosphate habang nire-release naman yung phosphate part niya. And then, pag-transfer ni carbamoyl group kay ornithine is mapoproduce itong si first amino acid natin, na tinatawag natin si citrulline. Pag na-produce ng si citrulline, pwede na siyang lumabas sa ating mitochondria matrix papunta kay cytosol. Doon mangyayari yung ating second step or yung pagkakondense ni citrulline kay aspartate. Tandaan natin sa aspartate is na-produce siya mula sa second transamination ni glutamate. So, si aspartate ay magkakondense with citrulline na makakabuo naman ng argininosuccinate. Pag nabuo si argininosuccinate, next step naman tayo, third step of the urea cycle, ay ang pagkakaroon ng argininosuccinate cleavage, kung saan mabubuo si arginine at si fumarate bilang carbon skeleton nito. Si fumarate ay gagamitin sa ibang biochemical process, specifically yung pagpuproduce or production ng glucose. Si fumarate ay sa ibang biochemical process, si arginine naman ay proceed sa next step ng urea cycle, kung saan si arginine ay dadaan ng hydrolysis process, kung saan sa hydrolysis process, dadagdagan natin ng water molecules si arginine para maproduce si urea at si ornithine. Si ornithine ay pupunta sa mitochondria matrix para i-continue o ulitin ulit yung process mula sa step 1 or the carbamoyl phosphate transfer. Continue lang ng continue yung process. Para mas maintindihan natin, nandiyan ang urea cycle network kung saan ang ating main substance na ammonium ion ay dadagdagan ni carbon dioxide, 3 ATP, 2 water molecule at 1 aspartate. At magiging product niya si urea, 2 ADP, 1 AMP, PI, at fumarate. So, nandiyan din ang ating urea cycle. Yung O part niya is galing sa ating carbon dioxide, H2N ay galing naman sa ammonium ion, and the NH2 ay galing naman sa aspartate.
We are the Group 8 of BS Psychology 3201